There's something about the smell of vanilla cake that makes my stomach turn. Too sweet, too artificial, too much like a childhood memory soured by the passage of time. I stand in the corner of our living room, watching clusters of people chatter beneath gold streamers and pastel balloons. My wife, Claire, is at the center of it all, radiant, glowing, her hand resting absently on the curve of her belly. I used to believe that glow belonged to me. I take a sip of whiskey, feeling the slow burn travel down my throat. The laughter in the room feels sharp, grating, like the edge of something I can't quite touch yet. I tell myself it's just nerves. A gathering like this, family, friends, colleagues, there's always an undercurrent of tension. But this is more than that. Something is wrong. And then I see him. He walks in casually, slipping through the doorway as if he belongs here, as if he was invited. A confident smile, dark eyes scanning the room. He's tall, well-dressed, the kind of man people notice without meaning to. The kind of man a wife might keep secrets for. Claire freezes. It's only for a second, but I catch it. The slight parting of her lips, the stiffness in her shoulders. Her fingers curl tighter over her dress, pressing against the swell of her stomach. The whiskey in my hand tilts dangerously. I force myself to breathe, to swallow the storm clawing at my ribs. Not yet. In moments like this, memories resurface like bodies in a river. The late nights, the hushed phone calls, the sudden shift in Claire's touch. I think of the scent of unfamiliar cologne on her scarf last winter. The way she had started pulling away, first in small ways, then in ways I could no longer ignore. I told myself it was paranoia. That stress made people distant. That maybe, just maybe, the cracks I was seeing were ones I'd imagined. But I don't imagine things anymore. A month ago, I found a message on her phone. Just one. A simple, careless "miss you" that made my blood run cold. And so I did what any man would do when the walls of his world begin to tremble. I dug. What I found turned my stomach. Late night rendezvous. Hotel receipts. And worst of all, the dates. The timeline didn't add up. That was when I made my own appointment. Claire's eyes dart toward me, panic flickering beneath the surface. I know what she's thinking. She wonders if I'll make a scene, if I'll crumble right here, in front of the people she holds dear. But I do nothing. Not yet. Instead, I watch. I watch as he moves through the room, shaking hands, laughing, blending in too easily. He doesn't approach Claire outright, but I see the glances they steal. The unspoken tension between them. And I let it simmer. I wait as the games are played. As the cake is cut. As Claire opens gifts wrapped in pink and blue ribbons, forcing out grateful smiles. I wait until the moment is perfect. Then I stand. Funny thing, I say, my voice calm, too calm. I got a DNA test. The room stills. The laughter dies, suffocated by the weight of my words. Claire goes pale. Her lover, the man she thought could slip and unnoticed, stiffens. His eyes finally meet mine, and I see it. The fear. I take my time, letting the silence stretch, letting the anticipation sink into their skin. Then I set down my whiskey glass and deliver the final blow. The baby isn't mine. Claire makes a sound, something between a gasp and a plea. Wait. I shake my head, cutting her off. I trusted you, I say, my voice quiet, but edged with something lethal. I loved you. And you made a fool of me. Tears pool in her eyes, but they mean nothing to me now. Around us, the guests shift uncomfortably, unsure whether to stay or flee. The room feels suffocating, thick with something toxic. And then, he speaks. I think I should go. His voice is steady, but his hands tremble. I laugh, a hollow, bitter thing. You think? He moves toward the door, but I block his path. Not because I intend to stop him, but because I need him to hear me. This isn't over. My voice is low, dark, filled with promises I haven't even begun to unravel. His face drains of color. Claire reaches for me, but I step back. Don't, I say. Just don't. And with that, I walk away. I don't remember much after that. People left in a flurry of whispers. Claire tried to call, to explain, but I let the phone ring. In the days that followed, the truth unraveled in waves, more lies, more betrayals. But there was something else, too. Freedom. I'd spent years loving a woman who was never truly mine. Now, for the first time, I belonged to myself again. I don't know what the future holds. But as I step outside into the cold night air, the weight on my chest finally lifts. And I walk forward, without looking back.